Okay, and we have the Gospel, the 16th Sunday, an ordinary time, and the verse that I chose is right there on the screen because I believe the Gospel today addresses the situation in the world today because uh, talks about the existence of the good and the bad in the world, and I think what we can understand is this. Yeah, there's good and bad exists in the world, and the good are thinking of eliminating the bad influence or the bad people in the world. But the gospel tells us, as told by Jesus, no, they can coexist because taking away the bad may also have a bad effect on the good. So, but at the end, definitely there will be judgment. There will be a separation between the good and the bad to be burned according to the gospel, and the good to go to the can say with the Lord. And so, what does it mean? Now we can coexist, and I think what it says is that the church or the good Catholics, those who are really living the teachings of Jesus, must concentrate on and living the teachings of Jesus, and not kind of wanting to eliminate the bad people in the world. So we can oppose them, but we can oppose them by living our convictions. Because as Jesus told the Jewish people when he was coming down from Mount of Olives, when he looked at Jerusalem, at one instance he cried over them because he said, "You could have, if you could have known the way to peace today, but you could not understand it now, and then you refuse to recognize the visitation of your God." And so, in that they lost their way, or what Jesus said, the way to peace. And Christ also said, "How I wanted to gather you like a hen, the chicks under her wings, but you refused to." So practically what Christ was saying is, you did not heed my teachings. You did not want to understand me. You refuse to recognize the visitation of your God. And so at the end, your temple will remain empty. So when we want to criticize or eliminate the bad people, the bad influence in the world, are we really living the teachings of Jesus? Or we just want to eliminate them because they are against us? What happens is, if we did that, we will be their enemies, and there will be no end to that fight and conflict. But if we live our commitment to Jesus, and that commitment makes us change or transform our lives, then the world will see the truth about God, and that will change the world. So we can coexist with them by really living our commitment to know and to follow Jesus, and that will show them the truth about God. And I think this is the way to peace that Christ said to the Jews when he cried over them. The way of peace, the way of love, the way of Jesus. And we have not tried it. We have not done it. We are not doing it because most of us do not know Jesus. So it's either we understand Jesus and follow his way and know the way to peace and love and convince the world, or we will continue to criticize them, to put them down, and then we will have this conflict until the end of time. And are we going to be still there as a church? Or broken down people, dispersed and defeated. So anyway, so that's the way I saw this, the gospel reading, in the mind, or the explanation of Jesus. So any comment, any comentarios? Como he dicho, es eso, ¿no? Es que lo que quiere Jesucristo es que nosotros vivamos su vida, no pelear con los no católicos, que los católicos vivan nuestro compromiso con Cristo, para convencerlos a creer en Cristo, que creen en Cristo.
Bueno, yo asumimos que somos nosotros parte del trigo, ¿no? Pero ¿cómo podemos nosotros ayudar en este sentido? Por ejemplo, ahí es la comparación de la maleza o personas que no están entendiendo bien la situación o están un poco pensando diferente que nosotros. ¿Cómo podemos ayudarlos?
No, so what Miguel is saying is that what we do with the people who do not understand this as we do. So now, what I was talking about, estaba hablando antes, es entre los católicos, que pensamos que estamos haciendo bien, en los no católicos. Ahora, ¿estaba hablando usted de los católicos? ¿No lo entienden como nosotros?
Sí.
Entonces, es diferente situación, ¿no? Pero probablemente la misma creencia, ¿no? ¿Qué podamos hacer? Entonces, más insistir o decirles, por vivir nuestra vida, nuestro compromiso con Cristo, a decirles, mostrarles, enseñarles que es muy diferente. Por ejemplo, like what I mentioned last Sunday, the lady we buried, last Friday. She told her daughter, I knew God, who God is, but I did not know the meaning of my Catholic faith until I had this personal encounter, the relationship with Jesus. That's the answer. How can we know? Because the lady said, he didn't know, la señora dijo a su hija, conocí a Dios, pero no conocí a mi fe, a Jesucristo, hasta que tuve este encuentro personal con Cristo. Entonces le faltaba algo hasta que reconoció a Jesucristo y tuvo esta relación personal con Cristo. Y después de esto reconoció la verdad de ella. Dice, eso es su trabajo ministerio. Es la cosa. ¿Cómo podamos realmente convencerles a la gente, que los católicos, que no han tenido esta experiencia de relación personal con Cristo? ¿Cómo podamos hacerles entender esto? Porque es muy importante, it is very important to let our fellow Catholics experience first the personal relationship with Jesus, because we want to correct or help or criticize the non-Catholics, but we do not have this relationship with Jesus in the first place. So what are we going to do to correct them? We want to correct the wrong they're doing without Jesus in our heart, without the Holy Spirit in us. It's like guiding a blind person. So it's not going to be effective, but they're going to consider us as enemies. But if we know the way of Jesus, and we have this personal relationship with Jesus, then Jesus and the Holy Spirit will help us convince them to become Catholics. And when they become Catholics, then we will help them to really live a good Catholic life. So how can we help them? Challenge them to know Jesus and to have this personal encounter with Him. Porque si en este encuentro personal con Cristo, no vamos a tener este entendimiento de qué es la vida católica. La señora dijo esto, muy buena persona, respetada toda la comunidad, pero no reconoció quién era y quién es Dios verdaderamente hasta que tuvo esa relación personal con Cristo. Es lo que dijo la hija. That's what the daughter said. her mother said, I knew God, but I did not know who am I. I did not know my real faith until I had this encounter with Jesus. Es muy importante, ¿no? Ese encuentro con Cristo, con el Espíritu Santo, es muy importante. Entonces probablemente es lo que vamos a enfocar, ¿no? Retar a los católicos que tengan este encuentro con Jesucristo a través del Espíritu Santo, para que conozca realmente quién es, cuál es su vocación. Y la vocación es ser transformado. No reconoció la señora la necesidad de ser transformada hasta que tuviera este encuentro con Cristo. ¿No? Y sí, fue transformado. Y desde entonces su vocación es mostrar cómo trabaja la buena nueva noticia de la gracia del Señor. ¿No?
Lo que usted dice es bien importante, reconocer la presencia de Cristo, el Espíritu Santo. Por ejemplo, como dice el Evangelio, quitar la cizaña. Muchos, primeramente muchos hermanos en la iglesia quieren ayudar a alguien. Por ejemplo, un alcohólico dice, nomás para. Y yo creo que no es posible, porque por ellos mismos quieren hacerlo, no pueden. Necesitamos la ayuda del Espíritu Santo, la gracia de Dios, y de repente ni se van a dar cuenta a qué hora se fue. Pero hace falta reconocer la ayuda del Espíritu Santo en la persona para que esto desaparezca.
Y para que la vida espiritual se debe reconocer, tiene que tener ese encuentro con Dios.
Sí.
¿No? Bueno, para que tenga un encuentro, debe que reconocer primero que hay un Espíritu Santo, hay un Dios que nos ama. ¿No? Si no, ¿a qué vamos a relacionar? ¿No? Con un fantasma, no puede hacer esto. ¿No? Y entonces nos falta la explicación bien de la escritura del Evangelio de Cristo. No sabemos, el Evangelio realmente, no conocemos. No. Por las historietas de Cristo que nació en Belén, historietas de la persecución de Cristo, historietas que murió en la cruz, historietas de la resurrección, pero se quedan así, como historia de Superman, historia de Mickey Mouse. ¿No? Y cuanto más conocemos a Mickey Mouse, no podemos relacionar con él, porque es una caricatura de un pensamiento de humano. Jesucristo es una persona. El Espíritu Santo es una persona que tenemos que relacionar. Pero la cosa, the thing is, it's very difficult, because the Holy Spirit, Jesus, God the Father, are real persons, but we cannot see them.
Mm-hmm.
But when we have devotions to the Virgin Mary, we knew she existed here in this world. We know the saints were here in this world. It's easier for us to relate with them through these devotions. But the reasons we have these devotions to the Virgin and the saints is for us to be helped by them to have this encounter with Jesus. But what's happening is, because we're so engrossed in doing those devotions, we forget Jesus, which is the real reason why we have the devotion in the first place. So we go on multiplying the devotions, and more we are eliminating Jesus from our lives. That's what we are doing. By not focusing on Jesus. That happened with the Eucharist. That is happening now. No? No. And so that's why I said that it's really not complicated. If we only focus on the teachings of Jesus and have this relationship with Him and the Holy Spirit, we will have the solutions. But we have not tried it. We have not tried it. We always want to do it our human way. And we do not even have an idea of the spiritual reality of Jesus and the Holy Spirit. We know the saints existed, the Virgin Mary existed in this world, but to have the experience of God, we have to relate with them as they are. But are we allowing our people to experience God in this way? Maybe not. So it's something to think about if we are doing really our mission as a church, church leaders, and fellow Catholics as we are. Any commentaries? And so again, we invite you, brothers and sisters, if you know, just write us or tell us your comment or questions, because it's really, it calls for something more spiritual, deeper than just having devotions, as we have said in the Mass, no? Where we want to fill the church with people, but most of us are ignorant of God and Jesus. Why don't we fill first the hearts of people with the grace of God and the knowledge of Jesus and experience the Holy Spirit? Then we will fill the church, fill up the church. But if we fill up the church with ignorant Catholics with hearts empty, no, of Jesus and of God, we will not achieve anything. So we want you to write us, tell us your opinion, so we can have this discussion. Okay? And thank you for watching.
Thank you.